Let's talk about the box. Now they got what's called a shoe 200 in New York State. Now I was in prison when they started building these. It was like 99, 2000. They first started building these. Now the shoe 200 is a box with 100 cells in it, double bunk. So there's 200 people that can be in this box. Now this shit is segregated from everything, but you do get a bunkie, which is cool because it gives you somebody to talk to, shit like that. Now, if you behave in the box, because there be dudes be in the box for hella long, so if you behave, you can get some headphones. You put the headphones on, there's like 3 plugs in the wall. You plug it into the wall, you can get some music. That's kind of like they way to make you behave in a box so that you can get the fuck up out of there. Because a lot of dudes will go to the box, myself included, and be like, fuck it, I'm already in the box. Might as well wild out, do some stupid shit like I was doing in the feds, like flooding shit, setting shit on fire. See, the feds don't do none of that. They're like, you in the box and you getting out. Now in New York, they give you like a little incentive. So when you come in the box, the regular box, you get nothing. Like that shit is trash. It's a cold ass cell. You got your bunk, you got your sink, you got your toilet. That's it. You sitting in that bitch until you go somewhere else. If you got over 30 days in a box, that's when they send you the S block. That's the shoe 200. So the first shoe 200 I seen was outside of Green, because when I was in Green, there was so much violence in Green that a lot of people was going to the box. So there was a lot of Crips that was in that box, and there was a lot of Bloods that was getting ran out the compound, because you get in a fight. Even if you get beat up, you still going to get a fighting ticket, and you're going to go to the box, which is, I think it's some bullshit, but hey, it is what it is. So there was a lot of dudes in that box right there. So now when you go to the box, they open a door. There's a door, it's got a glass window in it like this. You can see out the glass window. Ain't no bars, it's a steel door with a bulletproof glass window, probably about this big. Now, you walk in the cell. On your left-hand side right here, there's a bunk bed, bottom bunk and a top bunk. Same thing as every other jail bed. Who's going to take the top of the bottom? That's between you and your cellie. I always liked being on the bottom bunk because I can get out that shit faster if the SEALs running our cell or some shit like that, because SEALs did used to be beating people up back then. And I used to be talking shit to the SEALs, telling them to suck a dick all the time. So yeah, I ain't want them to drag me off the top bunk and fucking suplex me on my head or some shit like that. Now to the right of you, there's a sink that's connected to a toilet. You know, the regular metal sinks. And then there's a table next to that, like a little table. It's a metal table with an attached, like, it's kind of like a swing out chair type thing that you could, you know, write letters and shit like that on, because you do get paper and pen, stamps, envelopes, shit like that. You ain't getting no commissary though. So, and then in the back, there's a shower, right? So the shower has like a little plastic curtain on it, and you can take showers in there. So basically, you shower in your cell, you shit in the cell, you wash in the cell, you do everything in the cell. Like, you're not coming out that cell for nothing. Some places, like the showers is not in the box, so you're gonna get out for shop. There's none of that. And to make it even worse, in the back of the cell, there's a door, right? There's a window right here, probably about this big, low window that you can look outside. All you're gonna see is the compound. You're gonna see whatever prison the box is outside of, right? So in Green, when you look out the window, at least where I was, you can see the rec yard, the north side rec yard. So you see the whole rec yard, north side. You see people outside, which is worse because, like, motherfuckers outside playing basketball and lifting weights, and you in the box looking fucking stupid. So that door, when you get rec time, well, they'll ask you if you want rec. Then when you get rec time, they'll buzz that door. You open that door, and you go in the back. And when you come out, you'll walk out. It's kind of like a little concrete platform. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 feet forward and maybe like 10 feet across, right? So it's like the same size, but it's outside. But it's a cage. There's all like bars around that shit. Like, it's all shit you cannot get out of that shit. No way, right? So basically, you like a pet bird or some shit. So you get a little bit of air, but there's seagulls out there. So we used to feed the seagulls everything. And one thing I'll tell you, seagulls, I threw a seagull a cup of butter, not a packet. You know, like the cups like this, like the plastic cups and shit. And the motherfucker ate the whole cup. I was like, how the fuck is he gonna shit that out? He must gotta throw that up, because there's no way he's shitting that out. Seagulls will eat absolutely anything, but you get in trouble for feeding the seagulls. But we didn't care. We used to feed them shits anyway. Try to catch them shits on a line. You pull a bunch of like string off of the blanket and then attach it to some food. And then when the seal eats it, you try to pull that motherfucker in. Sometimes they'll get away, sometimes they won't. But that was like all the wreck you got. So basically, you are separated from everything except for your cellie. Now, sometimes if you're a violent inmate or if you're a gang member, when they got you like registered gang member, not in the S block in Green, but I know in the other S blocks I was in, that if you're Crip, they're not putting nobody in your cell unless somehow another Crip comes in, because they already know that you got beef with just about every gang that's going on in the prison system. So there was times when they had no cellie. So basically, you don't see nobody. You don't even see the CO. Like, the CO will come do counts. That motherfucker ain't coming back unless he gonna pass out trays, mail, or like library is coming around to pass out books. And I think library was like once a week. So, and I was always getting books. Fuck that, because you gotta have something to keep your mind going while you're in the box. So basically, it's seclusion away from everything. And because it's a steel door, like, you can send kites and shit under the door, but like, you really don't even see the CO. Like, the food slot opens, that shit's like this big. Your tray comes in, CO closes the fucking food slot. And sometimes don't even be a CO, sometimes it be an inmate, the inmate that's working in there. And when they have somebody who's been in the box long enough, the inmate who's working there will pass your tray through, and the CO's right there with him, making sure he don't pass you nothing you're not supposed to. And you don't see nobody. I remember I had, I think, like 4 months in the box at a time. I had like 180 days in the box. So it was like 6 months, but if I was good, they'll give you like a time cut on it. So I think I did like 4.5 months. So I behaved the whole time that time. I had got my headphones so I could put my music in, all that shit. I behaved the whole time. And once you got some music and shit like that, like, the box goes, it goes kind of smooth. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Now, when you in the feds, you don't get none of that shit. Like, one thing the feds don't care about is mental health. They throw you in a cell, you in there by yourself, you ain't got shit, you sitting in a cold ass cell. A lot of times you won't even get a cellie in there at all. And they don't bring library books by half the time. The only thing you really gonna get out your cell for is to go to law library. And the crazy thing is, they got a law library computer set up in the box, so you don't even leave the box to go to law library unless you get a visit. Now, I ain't getting no visits because I ain't have no family that was alive at the time. My I don't fuck with my moms, and my grandparents lived in Florida where I was at, and I really don't fuck with my grandparents because those are my mother's parents. And it's a fucked up situation to be in the box. And I feel like it caused me mental health problems that I still have. And I feel like it caused a lot of inmates mental health problems who have been in that situation. But yeah, S Block is New York State's prison answer to too many inmates in the box. And you know that you have a violence problem and a prison problem when you have to build specific facilities just to house inmates that are sent to the box, because there's so many fights and violent shit and drugs, etc. And I don't know how many of them there are. I know there was more than 10. So more than 10 times 200, that means you have 2,000 inmates just in S Block. And then you have to bring in the actual box inmates that are doing 30 days or 20 days or whatever. And I mean, that number is going to start getting astronomical. Why does New York State Prison have such an issue with controlling their facilities, that you have so many people in the box, and that you're putting so many people who already have mental health issues into a place that's going to cause them more mental health issues? Me personally, I was in S Block 4 times. I was in the regular box twice. And every time that shit sucked. And I don't think it changed my behavior or helped me in any way. It's just a way for the COs to get you out the way so they don't have to deal with you.